Hey everyone, this is John from CoverPrice, and I wanted to share with you a super powerful update that we just made to CoverPrice.com. So this update allows you to explore comic book series like never before. So let's take a look. So if you come to CoverPrice.com and you click on the search box, you can type in Amazing Spider-Man. And when you do that, if you type in just the series title, like Amazing Spider-Man, it'll take you to this page, which shows all the series. Now, if you were to type in Amazing Spider-Man #1, #300, it'll take you to that specific issue by itself. So let's scroll down and go to the 2015 series. And this is the new update, which we think is really powerful. I think I'm about to blow your minds, hopefully. We'll see. So on this page, a couple things. Number one, on the left-hand side, you'll see that it says there's 51 issues in the series. Those are the standard covers. You can now toggle on variants, and you can see that that now brings the total number to 331 comics in this series. So just by that analysis alone, you're like, wow, this whole thing is, there's so many variants in this series. And you can now go down and see each of those variants. We've added 3 unique views. One, grid view, which you can see the image of the comic book brought to the surface. So if you want to explore that and see more of like a gallery view. We have the more bare bones list view, where if you're going through a long box and you don't want to deal with loading an image or anything like that, you can go through and see like number 1 and all the different variants and what they're worth. But one of the views that we think are really cool is the list view. So this view has a ton of updates that I think you're going to like. So number 1, you can click on a comic and see a preview of the whole thing. Below that image, you'll see a quick add to your wish list, an add to your collection. You can go to the aggregated marketplace and find a place to buy this comic book. If you click on any of the key icons, it'll pop up with why it's a key. And so that's pretty helpful. If it's in your collection, you'll see that little collection icon to the right with a box and a 1. So I have 1 in my collection. And for the first time, we now have brought all the estimated fair market values to the surface, both raw and slabbed. So what we show here is the most common grades. So these are the ones that are having the most sales in it. So they're typically in other people's collections. But if you wanted to, you can click right here and click on any grade that you want. And you'll notice now you can do a comparison between raw and slabbed graded values. If you wanted to go even deeper, you can click right here and get to the price table right up front and make those comparisons, see notable information, and of course dive deep into the sales detail page at the bottom to see individual sales for each of the issues shown. So that by itself has saved you a ton of time of having to go into a series, back out. So again, if you're at a comic shop and you're going through a long box, you can quickly scan and see, for example, you just turn this off, and you can quickly scan and see all the standard covers and what they're worth and kind of get a sense of what's going on. Also, another cool thing is a lot of people have come to us and said, well, I want to add an entire series to my collection. I don't want to do it one by one. So we've added this plus add button. So when selected, you can either click this and it'll select every single comic on the page, or you can toggle and say, oh, I want to add the entire series, which is the 331. In this case, let's just, I've already have these 2 in my collection, but let's go ahead and add this one and this one again, just to show you. And if you notice, there's 2 options. You can add it to your collection or add it to your wish list. So both are valid. But let's go to the collection. And here we brought everything from your collection to the surface. So again, you don't have to add something and then go into your collection and manage it. You can do all of that here. The quantity, you can say if it's raw or graded. Let's say it is graded. We selected CGC. You can put a rating on that. And whenever you do that in CoverPrice, if you tell us what grade it is, either raw or slabbed, we can then be more accurate with our estimation of what the value is for your collection. So always put the grade in, always put if it's raw or slabbed. General notes, and because I selected a grading company, I can put in all the grading company information, the label, the custom label, slab quality, all of that stuff. If I want to add more information, I can even just click here. Now I can put these into a certain storage location in CoverPrice. I can assign it to a certain virtual box. If it's autographed, you can put all the signatories' names, so multiple names in here. If we don't have a value, because all of our values are brought in through actual sales data, and if a comic hasn't had one, you can still enter your own value with the Enter My Own Value section. Purchase information, the date, the price, shipping fees, the seller information, who sold it to you, what was the transaction number. So now you have all of that in your collection, so you can always kind of track where you got it from. And of course, you can put your overall ratings. I'm going to give these 5 stars. You add those to your collection, and yet now you'll notice the little box icon on the right side right here turn to a 2. If I click on that, it'll take me directly into my collection. So that by itself is going to save you a ton of time, but I'm going to go ahead and turn all of those off. The other aspect of this, which is really cool, I turn on the variants. I can now look at an entire comic book series and say, what is the highest raw value for this series? And by doing that, now I can see that, oh my goodness, okay, the $7.97, the remastered comic, has the highest raw value of everything in this series. So that's $400. Pretty cool. What about slabbed? What's the highest slabbed value for this entire series, including all the variants, right? And then you can say, oh, okay, the Ramada Senior Remastered for 1 in 1,000 is going for $1,000 in the 9.8. Very neat, very cool. So that by itself, there's so many other filters in here too. You can do all the hotkey by era. You can look at items in your collection and quickly see what you have versus what you don't have. So again, all this is about making it easier for you to enjoy comics and see what you have, manage your collection. The final thing that I want to show you, which is probably the most powerful, I might have saved this for last, is our search capabilities. You can now go into an entire series. I toggled on the variants, so it's going to include that. And I can say, show me all of the 1 in 25s. I can now go and see all the ratios for this entire series all in one place. I can do 1 in 50s. I can do cover artists. Let's say Campbell, because we love J. Scott. So we click on that and boom, I can see all of Campbell's covers. Here's that lizard cover that we all love. It's pretty neat. So if you're in a series that had like newsstands or Mark Jewelers, you can now search the entire series and only see that. And when you do that, you can also go into the grid view and take a look at all of the different covers and really, enjoy them. And then finally, if you click on the cover here, it'll take you to the comic book detail page. But if I wanted to, I can click on the little chevron on the right, and that will advance me to the next page, which is the comic book detail page. And that has all of our information, all of the variants, all of that right there. But again, this whole update is all about giving you, our members, more access to series and a better understanding of what's in each series. So again, we're really excited about this update. It really lets you explore comics like never before. And stay tuned. We have so many new updates happening. If you haven't explored Cover Price in a while, click on that menu and go to new releases, go to your collection, see what we've done. We're constantly making changes to the front end and to the back end, and we're really excited and really appreciate you being a member. So thank you so much and hope you enjoy.